First off, I want to say again, thanks to our support, our students. I thought the crowd was really got into it this past weekend. Want to, our players feed off that and did a great job, and I appreciate their support. Overall, it's never as good and it's never as bad as it seems when you come back and look at the film. I thought our defense played really solid. After looking at the tape, there's still a lot of improvements we need to make, getting our eyes in the right spots. Making sure we clean up some of the mistakes we made, because there were mistakes. And again, I thought they played very well. They competed hard. They played together better than they did in week one. Did their job a lot better. Overall, offensively, I thought our O-line really stepped up, did a lot of great things. Ran the ball really well. I told Coach Harrell he looked like he had been back in the Bear Bryant days running the football, so that was fun for him. But overall, I thought it was, a solid performance. We got to clean up a lot of things on tape, and we got to do much better. Special teams, I thought we did some really good things. Tyler Wilson had a great return and blocked a punt and should have maybe blocked another one. But we gave up two big critical plays that in the future it'll cost you football games. So overall, we got a lot of work to improve this week. And really excited about the opportunity to go and play Florida at their house in the Swamp. What an opportunity. And our guys will be excited this week to prepare and get ready to play.
Just a good feeling around here now after winning a game?
It's always a good feeling when you win. And wins aren't easy. They're all hard. And you got to enjoy every single one of them. And overall, there's a little bit more pep in your step on a Sunday after you do win, but our players understand that it's a process, and we enjoyed that one on Saturday night. Come back in Sunday. Now it's time for business and correcting our mistakes and making sure we don't have the same mental errors we did this past week, and we're a week better. And that win's over, and now it's looking forward to our next opponent and starting the process all over again.
After having a chance to look at the film, what's your evaluation of Mason?
I thought he brought a lot of energy. I thought his numbers weren't the most impressive thing, just looking at it on paper, but he managed the game very well. He moved the football. He led us down the field on touchdown drives. I thought overall he did a really nice job, and he'll be the first to tell you he has a lot of improvements and getting more comfortable each and every week, getting better within the system. But overall, I thought his performance was very well. Offensively, the biggest overall issue, we got to score touchdowns inside the 5 and the 10. Kick 2 field goals down there, and we got to put touchdowns on the board. We love for our kicker to make those field goals, and points are great. But in the future, we need to score touchdowns down there.
Coach, you mentioned you guys ran the ball a lot on Saturday. You ran it 51 times. Is that something that was just an adjustment for that game, or is it something you think will be a big part of the offense going forward throughout the rest of the year, too?
Well, I'll take what they give us. They didn't have a lot of run support with how they were playing us on the outside. They're playing a lot of man coverage, and if the run's working pretty well, and however they're rotating their safeties, and if they're going to play coverage that way, you have the run. So it's about taking what they give you, and we got to be able to do both. We got to be balanced. When I talk about balance, it's whatever the situation is. Are we balanced enough as an offense to be able to do both well? And this past week we ran the ball well. We still got a long way to go and a lot to clean up. It wasn't perfect after watching the tape, but they're getting better. And as you move in and keep competing here in the next few weeks, when you get into conference play, you want to have a balanced attack.
Talk about Florida. Seems like a team that's playing really well at this point.
Yeah, they're a really good football team. And the first couple of weeks, they had a lot of improvement from week 1 to week 2. And again, on both sides of the ball, they got a number of playmakers, a lot of athleticism, a lot of speed. They're big, physical. They're everything you would think they would be. But again, it's more so this week is a great opportunity to go play a high-quality opponent. But more importantly, it's more about us. Do we get a week better this week? And that's what we have to focus on, is making sure we get better. We get better within the process of what all it takes throughout the week. At the end of the day, it's just like every Saturday. You go out and compete, play as hard as you can, and in the fourth quarter, you look at the scoreboard and see where you've gotten.
How's this team's health, and is Jerian going to be okay this week?
We'll see. It's too early to tell right now. I think overall, we came out pretty healthy. We got a couple guys got nicked up a little bit, nothing serious. With J-Rod, we got to see. That was the one that was out this past week, and I want to make sure he's at full go and he's at top health before we jeopardize anything for further in the future. We're going to make sure he's healthy.
Coach, you seem to think Mason Fine can be a very special player. What about him has just made him stand out to you so much?
He just got it. I mean, he's one of those guys. He doesn't get rattled. He's extremely smart. You know, he's one of those guys. He's a 4.0 student. He just understands the system, and he has that presence about him. Guys look to him, they follow him because of he just got it in the huddle. And so, again, I'm not sitting here saying he's the coming Lord and Savior or anything like that. He has a lot to work on, and he has a lot of room for improvement and growth, and he will. The greatest thing about him is he knows it, and he's going to work extremely hard to improve on his weaknesses. You know, we have a lot of guys like that, though. There's a lot of guys on our team that are great teammates. They work extremely hard. They're humble. They know where their game's at and where they need to improve. And we just overall, at every position, on offense, defense, special teams, every individual, coaches and players alike, we got to continue to get a week better, and he understands that.
How do you approach a game?
Go ahead.
How do you approach a game like this? I mean, I think North Texas is, I think it's 146 all time against ranked teams. It's always hard to go to an SEC venue, especially for a Conference USA school. As a new coach in this situation, how do you approach a game like this?
Like you do every week, you go through the process. You correct your mistakes from your previous week. You scout your opponent, you game plan them, and you have a great week of preparation. And at the end of the day, you look across the country week in and week out. You go out and compete, and just because they're an SEC team or a Conference USA team, hey, there's a lot of great football teams in Conference USA. And so go play the football game. And we don't fear anybody. We're never going to fear anybody. We're going to go out and compete and play the game it should be played, the way it should be played. And at the end of the day, we'll see where we stack up at the end of it.
You've been on the other side of it in places like North Carolina where you were a heavily favored team. I mean, does that influence the way you look at them at all? Haven't been on both sides?
None whatsoever. Again, they got 11 on defense. We got 11 on offense. They don't have 12. We don't get 12. So it's still football. I mean, you go out and play.
What are some weak points that you noticed in Florida's game that you kind of want to game plan to try and attack this week?
Oh, golly, man. You want me to just tell the world that, huh? There's not very many weaknesses. There's really not. They got great scheme on offense and defense. They're comfortable in them. They're sound. Every scheme has weaknesses. Doesn't matter if it's our scheme or their scheme. There's different ways to attack different coverages, different fronts. There's different ways to attack different protections offensively, run game. So every system has their weaknesses in some way, and you try to figure out the best ways to your strengths that you have on your football team to take advantages of them. And that's it.
What do you feel your strength on defense is that you could use maybe to stop Florida?
Well, first of all, we got to play together, and we got to do what we did for the most part last week is play with all 11. You know, making sure everybody's doing their job. If everybody has a job to do out there, and if you start trying to do too much or do somebody else's job, it usually doesn't work out well for you. We just got to be sound in everything we do. Everybody's out there. Again, if everybody on all three phases just does their job, good things happen. And we'll prepare this week. We'll make sure that they understand what our game plan is and what we're trying to attack in different areas. And they do those things, we'll be fine.
Do you anticipate Alec Morris seeing any playing time this week against Florida?
Yeah, I anticipate it. We'll see. You know, it depends on how the game goes, and that's going to be weekly. Depends on, there's a lot of factors that go into it. If a guy gets extremely hot and I don't want to take him out of rhythm, then no. But, you know, if there's opportunities, we'll need both of them throughout the year. Both of them need the reps. Both of them need the experiences. So that's kind of a feel kind of throughout the game.
Does it worry you when you see Mason Fine taking off running, considering his size?
No, it doesn't. I would. The only thing I would tell him to be hesitant about from now on is trying to run over safeties. But he'll learn.
How much does Alec help in the room this week, being a veteran of the SEC?
He has a lot of experience in these type of games. He understands what they're about, and so really his just overall experience is maturity more than anything. But schematically, it changes year in and year out. You know, every system's a little bit different. So Alec is a great teammate. He's one of our team captains. He's a great leader, and those guys always need to step up and do a great job throughout the week in the game planning process.
What would you like to see as far as scheduling goes? North Texas kind of settled into that routine over the last couple of years. We have one money game, one FCS game. You know, SMU are a regional rival, and that's pretty much it. What would you like to see as going forward?
Honestly, that's not for me to say. I mean, really, they make the schedule and I play it. And it doesn't matter who the opponent is. We're going to prepare. We always feel like going into the game, we got a chance. We're giving our players a chance and our team a chance to be successful.
You have a handful of freshmen. In your experience, is there a point, experience-wise, game-wise, where things really start to slow down for them, or is it individually?
Everybody's a little different, you know. Every player is different on the speed of the game. Some adapt quicker than others. So I can't tell you when it'll click for every single one of them. I know right now we have played a bunch of true freshmen and guys who have been out for the first time, seeing a college experience, a college football game. And the more reps you get, the more experiences of those live bullets, the better you get. And I think there was a big improvement for a lot of those guys just from week 1 to week 2. And you probably saw it out there. I did. And they'll get more comfortable as they go. And I'm excited about our young group. They're doing a lot of great things for us. However long it takes them, it's going to take them. Again, everybody's just a little bit different.
Coach, going back to the offense, how would you evaluate the way that the guys have kind of adjusted to the new system 2 weeks into the season?
We're nowhere close to our standards, if that's what you're asking me. I think we still have a long way to go and working and getting more comfortable and just making routine plays, basically basic execution. Again, we've had hiccups in both games, but overall, I'm pleased with how the transition has taken place. They've done a great job of buying in. They're working extremely hard. They're having fun together, and it'll all come. Again, it's it's new for everybody. It's just like the freshmen. So, the more reps you get under live fire, the better you'll become. The more experience you'll become within the system. So, I think we're on track on both sides of the ball. Really, the only thing that hadn't changed much is the special teams. You know, pretty much the same as it was. You know, Coach Perry has been here in the past, so it's not a lot of new terminology. And so, but in that sense, I think we're on track on offense and defense.
Jeffrey Wilson was in a sling at the end of the night on Saturday. Is he going to be okay?
Yeah, he's good. Again, he took a shot, and it was early in the game, so he played through it. Obviously, we were making sure we were going to protect him and make sure he's healthy, not to do any further damage. So some of it was just precaution. and he'll be fine. You know, we just got to continue. He's got to continue to take care of his body and good treatment this week, and I don't see any issues.
Willie Robinson's been kind of an interesting player so far. Wasn't somebody that a lot of people thought heading into the season would be an impact guy. Where did he kind of emerge from?
He in the spring, you saw some flashes. He was kind of nicked up in the spring, so you didn't get to see him as much as maybe we would have liked. But he would show some flashes then, and his biggest jump came over the summer. I mean, the way they worked this summer and coming into fall camp, the first week of fall camp, he had a really good fall camp. I was really excited the way he was playing early in camp, and again, a lot of that's due to the fact he's got bigger, stronger, and faster. He has good speed, and they threw a lot. So that's just a credit to those guys and the way they worked, through player workouts. So I was excited to see that. But he's done some good things. He's been consistent, and overall, that's what we have to have from every position. We just need more consistency overall for each group.
What is it that makes him effective? Is it the speed, or
The what? I'm sorry.
what is it that makes him effective?
Well, he's smooth. He gets in and out of his cuts. He plays fast, because he's smart. He understands the system. He understands where he's supposed to be, how to set up routes. Again, we're not there yet. He's like everybody, still got a lot of improvement to do, but he's able to play faster than maybe some other guys because he understands it. He's a smart kid, and he's worked hard at it. And he'll get better with more reps as it comes.
How challenging is it to manage a two-quarterback system?
It's not hard. It's really not a two-quarterback system. It's just the best quarterback out there at that time. It is what it is. Everywhere I've been, I've kind of been in somewhat of a situation. Besides really Arizona, early on at Indiana, we played two guys. At North Carolina, at times we played two. Although we settled in Marquise, but same thing when if Marquise needed a breather and he needed to watch the game a little bit and get back comfortable to getting his eyes where they need to be. Mitch came in and did a great job for us. So I don't know if it was a two-quarterback system. It was just like every other position. You got to make sure those guys are comfortable. They're seeing what they need to see, and sometimes it's okay to give them a series here or there to take some relief off of you, and get back to it and come back in here after a couple series and be better.
What's the key to winning on the road? You've obviously done it in your career. It's been a long time since North Texas has won a road game.
Well, there's obviously the crowd and the noise, and if you let it affect you, it will. If you don't bring your own energy, because no one's going to give you that energy there. If you don't bring your own energy as a football team, you're not going to be very successful. So you got to prepare in the way that you got to come together as a family. You got to come together as one big unit that are going to feed off each other and compete. And whether it's at home or away, it's no different. At home, you get the advantage of being able to feed off the fans and the students and everyone else. But on the road, you just don't get that.
Heading into a lot of games this season, North Texas is labeled the underdog. What is that? When you hear that, what does that mean to you?
Nothing. I've seen a lot of underdogs win football games. So really, I don't look at who's favored or not favored. It really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you can go out there and compete, and every single week underdogs win. What's an underdog?
What'd you do to your eye?
I would love to say that on the weekends I do MMA on Sundays and fight, but I don't. It was interesting. We have a lamp in our bathroom that was left on, so I decided I needed to get up and go turn that lamp off. And as I walked in there, I guess my door was halfway open. So when I turned that lamp off, I turned around in the dark, and there was the door, and the door won. And so Yeah, it hit me pretty flush. It was, you know, good shot. And wife turned on the lights, and the rest is history. You know, don't run into doors. You know, if you do, wear a helmet. But you know, after about you know, at first when you run into a door, it irritates you a little bit, right? But after 5 minutes, you know, it's pretty late. Me and Beck had a pretty good laugh for about 20 minutes after that. But I tried to figure out different stories I could tell, you know, headbutting player or something, but there's just no good way to put it. Kind of how it happened.
The label excuse.
That's
Just ran into a door.
that it is. You know, and as unbelievable as that sounds, that's what happened. No stitches though. Won't make me any uglier, I promise.